Hey YouTube, this is Dan making another vid. If you like my content, please consider hitting the like button. Also, please consider subscribing, as it is very much appreciated. Okay, had a comment on my cast over method. It's not my method. I saw it ages ago. Anyway, and I've adopted it because I really like it. Saves you from spilling your tin, because if you cast over, traditionally how they probably used doing it in the tins, you probably cast down. So took the striker in their other hand and cast down, but never really liked cast down method. So I saw a bloke doing it this way, which is basically you hold it and then just cast over the top until you get some take, and then I usually just propagate it a bit more. And that's where your ember tongs come in, and you just pick out some embers until you get what you need, put it in your tinder bun, blow it into flame. Pretty easy stuff. But you'll find you have to use a pretty good steel, one that showers sparks. But it's just a matter of showering it down. You'll find that most strikers tend to see how it just casts down that way. The other one is using a traditional 1700s tinderbox. It's a little bit different. It tends to be, I use the same method. I use a cast method for the traditional tinderbox, but they tended to use it, as far as we know, they use the box traditionally. Now mine has everything in it. It's an organic thing. I just throw whatever tinder's in the box. I cast over the top of my tinder box like this, and then I'll get my box once I have an ember, place the tinder on it and blow it into flame. So, but you'll notice I have char cloth, I've got punk wood, I've got just about everything in there. It doesn't really matter because it's an organic thing. I put whatever I want in there. I just get an ember, get it so it's a bit bigger, and then burn everything. Burn your leg, that's all right. Looking for my ember tongs, and they're sitting on my leg. It was hot, but anyway, it's all right. It's all good. far as we know, that's how they use, and that was probably right out of frame. You didn't see it happening. But anyway, what I did was I propagated the ember, and then, which I just grew the ember, and then held the tinder on the ember as I blew, and it just grew and grew and grew until the ember got hot enough to put the ember to blow the ember into flame. As it grew the ember onto the tinder and blew it into flame, as per normal. You'll see as you're blowing the ember, it gets hotter and grows and grows and grows, and then you just close the tin, close it up, and puts it out. It gets a bit warm. Keep it away from your beard. I've got a big beard, but just keep it away from there a little bit. But you've got to keep close enough so that it grows the ember. Sorry, I take it out of flame, but out of frame, but I've got to get it close enough to my face to be able to get it to grow. I probably could use that and keep it in frame, but yeah, it's a little bit harder to do. Wanted to show you those two techniques. I don't use my tinderbox often enough on camera. I should try. It is a little bit harder, just the way I film, to do that. But I also wanted to show you the cast over method again. It is a very good way of stopping from your tin from spilling. That's the primary advantage of it. It's not as efficient as the cast down method in some ways, because when you're casting down, you are directing your sparks directly at it. The best way to do that is to pour some tinder onto the ground. Usually what they did is put charcloth or whatever on the ground, pin it with your striker, and then just strike down. That way, it doesn't matter, you won't spill it. The other way is to pour some punk wood or whatever, charred punk wood, strike down like that. That's a viable option too. Again, a misstrike, you quite often misstrike and spill your tinder away, or if it's blowing like any type of wind at all, it just blows everything away. So yeah, I found as soon as you go down with doing cast down method, it's not as viable as that cast over method. I like it for many reasons, and the main one is that you don't spill your tin as often. You can still spill your tin. That is just a thing that you have to live with occasionally, of spilling your tin, but it does reduce the amount of times that you do it. Anyway, thanks for watching.